We live. Real Sports Fan Podcast. Another Monday night coming to you live from BAAM. Monday the 13th. Another day. Got my main man here, Corey Mills, in the building. What's up, bro?
Oh man, I can't call it. I appreciate you for having me.
Man, thanks for coming
through.
through.
It's definitely a pleasure. I've been looking forward to it like ever since we first talked
Yeah.
about it.
It's been coming together. Yeah.
How we was going to attack it.
Yeah.
What we talked about, it's been on my mind like all day. Like
Good.
I'm trying to dig into it.
This is definitely one of the ones I've been looking most forward to. Like you said, we had talked a while ago, trying to get things together, and this ain't just gonna be the first. You know what I mean? So right now, you know, even while you live right now, share the video, tag people in the video. We're gonna be talking about a lot about mental health, a lot about Corey's story, a lot about childhood, hurt, different things that's happened. You know, so we both had a few obstacles with even get here and stuff messing up. I can't even set up. You know what I'm saying? So we knew something good was gonna come from this, and this is gonna be the first many sit downs that we're gonna have. But first, I want to thank everybody for listening. Like I said, we back at it again, and even though we're we touched on sports, but I was trying to done like the last year and a half is going outside the box on different issues that we need to discuss in the community. Period. So that's one of the things that we we're gonna go ahead and get into today. So first, Corey, man, just tell me first. As far as sports goes, just to even get that out of the way, sports. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get the sports out the way first. It's just sports that you grew up liking, or is it sports that you watch even now?
I like sports as a whole, but I didn't get enough time to participate. My grandma wasn't having it. While y'all was shooting
we got
and all
that.
I was rookie, so grandma wasn't having that. I was fast. I had a little athleticism, I guess that's what they call it.
Yeah.
But grandma needed that, so that's all.
So that's
as far as the sports went.
What, football, basketball, anything?
No, actually, I ran track.
Yeah. Okay.
I ran track.
I can see that.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I had a little speed, but she needed me, and what she said was law.
It was law. Yeah.
I killed all that. I definitely would have participated if I had the opportunity.
Any teams or anybody that you like or
basketball? I'm a Celtics fan. Football,
Boston.
Cowboys fan.
Okay. Hold on. Don't say the Cowboys and go like that. Hold up. Back up. Cowboys fan. So you hear a lot. You hear a lot.
I tried to. But you wouldn't let me, so I'm a Cowboys fan.
And it's crazy because a lot of my friends are Cowboys fans.
Right.
Mike Blade, Sam Taylor,
we deep in that.
Gary Somerville, a lot of them are Cowboys fans. So that's what's up.
That's my team, right? And I catch a lot of flack for that.
Hey, ride or die. Cool. So that's what's up. So one of the reasons we're here today, and what inspired me, for us to talk, is a lot of the positive things you share on Facebook. And I've always known of you and known you a little bit from us passing each other, stuff like that. But we never got a time to sit down, and chop it up.
We like family.
We basically are family, and then even know we basically are though. You know what I'm saying? We basically are family. So that's a whole nother show. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I get.
That's a whole nother show.
That's a whole other podcast.
So talk to me a little bit about just growing up. What was like growing up. First, tell us where you're from.
I'm from Dover.
Okay, see, that's what I said. Tell us where you're from. Let's talk a little bit about childhood a little bit.
And I was born in Dover. My mom met a gentleman that everybody should be familiar with, named BAAM Mills. They met at General Foods. They both worked there for a long time, and that's where they met.
Okay.
So that's where they clicked up at, and that's how me and her ended up coming here.
Okay.
So even though I was born in Dover, I've been here since '80, off and on. So.
Oh, okay. Since
1980. So I've been here for a while.
Okay, and how old are you now?
I'm 41.
41.
I'm 42 in July.
Okay, in July. Okay, so you came here in '80.
Mm-hmm.
So just talk a little bit about the Eastern Shore and about this area now. Did you spend most of your time right in Easton?
Yeah,
outside.
I was really back and forth. Like I would come here on the weekends, but I would go to school there. Until
okay.
I started getting in trouble in school, and my grandma was like, "You gotta go." So that's how I ended up here. I moved here like my 9th grade year, the year I started high school.
Okay.
I moved out here.
Okay. And then so you did you end up graduating right from Easton?
Nah.
Tell us a little bit about some of the obstacles and peer pressure. Because and the reason I say is because a lot of people that know you but don't know everything you endure is younger people like even like myself that always seen but might not have known everything. So let's talk a little bit about childhood, some of the things that you went through growing up, peer pressure and stuff like that.
I mean, for the most part, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Like growing up, and things aren't the way you want them to be. You kind of look at it in a negative way. And that's basically what it was. Things wasn't how I thought they should be, and I acted up about it, and I went about it the wrong way, and it led me into a lot of different trouble, whatever. So that's basically what it was. It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't,
Right.
Exactly. So it was one of those kind of situations. So I came down here, I had a chip on my shoulder. I was kind of mad at the world.
Right.
But besides that chip on my shoulder, I had underlying issues, like underlying anger, rage, and it was so deep rooted that it affected everything that I did. Like, everything. And the only way that I knew how to express myself was through anger. As men, we're not taught how to.
We're not taught.
Exactly. We're not taught that. And
we're taught that if something's wrong,
you
suck it up and you just keep going.
Yeah, and I didn't know how to deal with what was going on, and my emotions was like so strong. Like, for real, it kind of felt like the way I was in touch with how I was feeling. It felt slightly like feminine, like how women are. That's how it was. I was just so in touch with it, and I didn't know how to control it or approach it. Tell somebody like, if you hurt me, I didn't know how to. Bro, you did that. It was always right. So besides that chip on my shoulder, or whatever my insecurities or whatever, I had underlying issues, and I didn't know what those underlying issues was. So I know I have a problem. But all right, say if you have you having car issues, you take your car to the dealership or whatever, and you pull your car up, and you be like, they be like, what's the problem? And you be like, I don't know. And the guy's like, okay, so you hear it's obviously a problem. You be like, okay, can you help me out? You be like, and that's what it was. Like I had some things going on. I didn't know how to express it. I didn't know how to go to help. I didn't know how to get help. And even if I went and got help, it would have been like ridicule.
Exactly. Why
so for a long time, I had issues, and it's really been a long, lonely battle. And people don't understand, like, it's a lot of little Corys out here, bro. Like,
that's a lot of.
I can't stress this enough. Like, you don't know how hard.
That's why that's important.
This has been on my mind, like, this all throughout the day. Just come here. Like, I had to walk around the block time just coming here because this is heavy, like, for me, and not just for me, just for my community.
For the community.
And I'm 41 years old. I'm just now finally getting the grip on. Okay, this might be what came from all about. But it's like I done left a whole trail of damage in my wake. And now I'm looking back like,
and it's something you say that too, because like you said, as not even just as kids but as boys, it's just like when you fall down, you better hurry and get back up.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Or if you get fighting, you better go out there and fight. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it's wrong with those things, but as men, especially as boys, before we came in, you better not cry. Because if you cried, that's we talk a sign of weakness. It wasn't until I was probably 23, 24. I never forget when we had the church on the corner right there on the hill. I never forget I was testifying and I was just really thanking God, really just for still being here. You know what I'm saying? And then as I talked, I was just crying. I couldn't understand, like, what? Like, what's going on? Like, why am I just crying? Like, every time I talked, something it was just
coming out.
It was coming out. So it was like that for like weeks. We said time, and after a while, I felt myself like, man, I feel better. Like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? And then getting it. So talk to me still as far as, because again, we talk about the 80s, the 90s. I grew up on Glenwood in the 90s, right by the Legion, right across the L. So I know what it was. And like, even as a kid, I knew what it was. So just talk to me about, like you said, about you didn't know how to, what you were dealing with.
I didn't.
You know what I'm saying? And so what did you do to lash out, you know, when you were younger, as far as
I mean,
anger
I got in trouble at school. I mean, I mostly got in trouble at school because, like I said, my mom, we grew up in a foster home.
Okay.
So the woman that raised us, she was from the South.
Okay.
So she didn't no games at all.
Yeah.
So I didn't really go at her. I would go at everybody else, like at school or people in school. But yeah, she had us. Yeah, she had us trained. We didn't play with her at all.
And when you say even anger and stuff like that, and going to people in school, you basically saying, hey, whether you trying to fight,
I mean,
whether
it
you
was
trying whatever. Yeah,
it wasn't like I was starting it, but it didn't take much.
It didn't take much. I
was really like what they call a introvert. Like I was always to myself.
Oh,
like even now.
Yeah, I got you.
But,
I got you.
And I'm an only child, so it didn't take much, and I was really always a target.
See,
I'm a target.
I'm the only child too.
Right.
And,
a lot of lonely battles.
Then keeping things in.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
what can you talk to?
Yeah, who you talk to as far as sharing things, you know, things like that.
It's harder than what people think it is.
Yeah.
When I was when I was a kid, like the stuff that I thought about, I didn't have no business thinking about.
As a kid, right?
As like I got an 8-year-old son, and I was about his age or slightly younger, and the stuff that I thought about, I had no business knowing. And as a kid, how do you go to an adult and was like, I heard, this is supposed to do this, and this is between two adults. And this, as a kid, I had knowledge of it very young. And where do I get this from?
Right.
So how can I go to my mom and dad and be like, yo, somebody's telling me that a woman and a guy is supposed to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I
you
knew
go
this.
I
knew the mechanics.
But you knew.
And like you would hear my parents tell stories like when we had female guests over, like grown women, I chased them all around, took my tongue, and you know, like, and then it was cute. Yo, he's just
right.
The whole time
you was going through and not even, like you said, realizing why that was
like,
going on.
And if it wasn't like sexual stuff, it was like violent stuff. And at night, like to this day, I don't sleep all night.
Had trouble sleeping. Up, yeah.
I don't sleep all night.
Got you.
And it's like, who do I talk to about this? Because I don't even know what's being told to me. Like this is stuff that like my parents would tell you. Like I had imaginary friends, bro. Like they had names and stuff like that. Like, and you know, looking at it as a kid, you know, oh, he just
like everybody got imaginary friend, no big deal, right.
But like, I can't sleep at night because I'm hearing stuff that I shouldn't. And I gotta grow up with this, and you know, like around the time where you start hitting puberty, and you're going through so much.
You're
going through so much, and then I got this stuff going on inside my head and my body, and it's like it's just I was a ticking time bomb. I felt it was something going on inside me, and bro, it was literally consuming me. If I didn't get to a point where I was like, come on.
Was there something that, you know, when you got, like you said, like you talked about that ticking time bomb, was it, what point did you get to, and I don't want to jump ahead too much, but you know, I want to flow too, you know, while we in this hour, again, we live, we appreciate everybody. When was the point where was it a point you got to like, man, I got to either get myself together, or was it something that maybe you, whether, I don't know if you've been locked up or whatever the case may be, you was like, man, I can't do this again.
I've been felt like that. Like, you know, I would have these episodes, and it was like, in the middle of it, I can't even see straight, bro. Like, just like, you know how you go to a shooting range, and you know you're firing at a target, and it's no face, and it's like, you know, if there's no face on it, you're dehumanizing, and it makes it easy for you to shoot at or hurt. And I would get to that point for the rage, and you would just become
just like, you don't see the person.
And then once it was all over, bit, and I looked and I did something dumb to somebody I'm close to or whoever.
Got you.
And like growing up, I always identified with the Incredible Hulk like so much. As far as, you know, you had your favorite cartoon character, whatever. And you remember, I don't know if you remember, but a long time ago on Channel 5, they used to have like the Incredible Hulk, like a TV show. And the guy was always alone, just walking somewhere. He might get in the store and get into an incident with somebody, and the guy's like, "Look, man, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, man. I don't want no problem. Just pass through, bro." Like, and they'll keep messing with him and keep messing with him. And before you know it, this dude would turn green. And then all of a sudden,
Yeah, it went in. You know, it's something that you said that because just earlier today, I was watching season 4 of The Wire, and I think I was watching episode 6 or 7, but it's a scene in there where a girl was being bullied. She's been picked on. Came back the next day and she sat there, spazzed out, and ended up cutting the girl. Now the girl she ended up cutting was a girl that bullied her, but it's just that, like you said,
you just seeing,
she just seeing
the end part.
Yeah, exactly. Seeing the end part, so you would look like, well, that was the one that did
bad.
Why'd you do that?
Why'd you do it?
What's wrong? Something going on, you know? And a statement I've always made, and you let me know if I'm right, wrong, or what. But and this is not a statement from the church, from the family. This is Lance Anton Wilson. This is something that I think though. But I always say that a lot of times as we grow up as adults, whether it's how we think, what we believe, the relationships we're in, but a lot of the things started in childhood. A lot of the hurt, a lot of the things that we can't understand. Why I'm with this person? Why I'm with this person? Why I like to do this? Why am I mad? So am I right? You know, am I on the right page?
That's so true.
You know what I'm saying?
And with just in my dealings, I'm gonna put you like this: every girlfriend that I've had, they need to go talk to somebody. Every girlfriend I've ever had.
And you're saying because of the things you had?
Nah, just
childhood. Yeah.
Just friends. You know what I mean? Like, and by me going to the Life Energy Wellness Center, I was court ordered to go. You know, I had got into an incident with my girlfriend, and I got myself locked up. We ended up getting into a domestic altercation. So I get locked up. I go to court for it. You know, my festival plea. I plead guilty. I say I man up for what I did. So part of my the condition was for me to go to mental health. So when I look at the paper, I laughed it off initially, like y'all gonna wait till all this time, and now you gonna get me help? Like seriously? So at first it was a joke to me. So I thought about it more. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna see what it's about first. So when I went, I did my intake. Everybody there was real cordial. They had like a warm feeling, like a comfortable feeling.
And that makes you can tell when you feel
exactly. So I went in there. I went for my evaluation or whatever. So I'm in there talking to the lady. I do my assessment, and my first counselor is really why I opened up the way I did. Like, and who your counselor is, or who you choose to confide in, this makes a difference in life and death.
Yes, it does.
And what really made me open up the way I did, my first counselor named Miss Murray. She was a black lady from South Side of Chicago. So I went in there and I sat down and I looked at her, and we locked eyes, dead in her face, and I was like, yeah. And she just had that look like she'd been through it. Yeah, like, I mean, beautiful black lady. Now I can say she's like 60, something like that. Real pretty eyes, smooth skin, and we clicked just like that. And that was my first counselor, and that's where I did. And you know, I got to talking about recent things, and she got to digging into past things, and I got comfortable with talking. So now I go from one-on-one with a counselor to group. Now I'm in a group setting, whereas though you hearing other people's stories. So you know what I mean. You get a feel for your group, and it's people that's going through the same thing that you're going through. So now I'm in a group. So I've been in it for a year. So now I'm into it. I like it. Like when I go to group, I'm talking. Like I'm vocal. Once I'm comfortable, I'm here. So I tell my stories. Like I told stuff there before I told
saying to your parents. Wow. So
exactly. It came out there first.
So that's definitely a comfortable setting.
Exactly. So I mean, like, and it was there, just going and participating and really taking it serious. Where these layers, start putting these layers back. And if you ever cut up an onion, that top layer, it might not sting that much.
But once you get through that,
yes sir.
Yeah,
it's gonna burn a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna burn.
And I think that for me going there is what led to what happened to me one morning. And I'm like, I'm nostalgic. I think I'm gonna pass all the time. I'm wrapped up in it.
Okay.
So I'm going to work. We had to work a Saturday, and it was similar like this morning. The conditions, slightly drizzly. So I'm walking to work. I got my headphones on, and you remember when you used to take a picture with a Polaroid? The joint slide out.
You gotta shake.
And I swear, bro, like like somebody just started throwing Polaroids at my brain. And I'm walking, I'm going to work. Here from my normal, everyday routine, bro, I'm just walking. And the first picture was of a car. And it's a Buick Century, like an old school Buick Century, like a blue joint. Okay, I remember the car.
I guess they give me details.
Yeah, it's just, and it's just like,
yeah, like I say, like clear.
And I'm walking, I'm like,
ho. Right.
And it just kept coming until I got the full picture. I said, the first picture I seen was the car. The next picture, the guy. You know what I'm saying? Different areas we were. You know what I mean? He's sitting on his lap. I mean, it never really got to all the way, but I grew up in a Christian household. Bro. I was that close. The woman that raised me is a reverend. Well, she was, she passed, but bro, I was that close, and it started coming back to me. On my way to work, and the stuff that he was saying, like, it makes sense now. Like, you know, the stuff I'm thinking that I'm not really catching what you're saying as a kid, but you're really telling me. You're putting this stuff into my head as a child. And I was around you a lot. And bro, like, I was walking to a guy that I ride to work with, and I was standing in front of his house when I'm just walking in circles, like, man, you got to be kidding me. And when that man walked out of his house, I was laid out on the ground, like out.
And I know you're talking about, because the guy you're talking about, that's my cousin. You talking about John Sauter, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's my cousin. Yeah. I remember the folks.
When he walked out of his house, when I came to, John was pulling me by my arm. He was dragging me to the car. I was out. And I'm sitting in the car like, nah.
You couldn't even explain it. Like,
nah. And I'm like, nah, I know he did not.
I was dealing with you.
And I had to go to work, bro. Like, I'm sitting in the work, on my job, like, in the break room. I was trying to read the menu, trying to order my lunch.
You wasn't right yet.
I wasn't right at all.
Nah.
Like, it's from when I walked in, it's all day. All day, just all. And nobody said nothing. Nobody asked what was wrong. And it was just on my face, like, yo, I don't know.
And if you don't mind, can I even share that post? Because I actually have to have that post. You know what I'm saying?
Really,
and you didn't know I had this.
What really made me share that is because it was another individual
that was going
in the household, in the household with the individual.
Okay.
And after I realized it, like, okay, you would try that with a boy.
Right.
You definitely try that
with the girl. Right.
So that was the post was for.
Right.
I'm putting it out there. I'm putting his name out there.
Right.
The area.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So if this happened,
right.
You feel what I'm saying? It didn't happen. You're not alone.
Yeah.
If you want to talk, you want to cry, because I damn sure cried.
And
I cried.
It was needed. I
cried, bro. If that day it was a Saturday, if I had seen it, man, like I could close my eyes and I wouldn't have to look at him. I could hear his voice and I could pick him up. And that day, I could have killed him at the police station, bro. Like yo, you was really going to do that, like, and he played the role as a family friend. Like, you know what I mean? It's not somebody that we really know. You're a friend of a friend, but you're that close. You had your intentions.
Right.
I was sick.
Yeah. So like you said,
I was sick.
Not tell you reflected, that day.
And like that all day, I was off. Like, bro, you couldn't even fart past me. That day, it was just gonna be a problem. But I was like that Sunday. That Sunday, bro, I felt like 10 pounds out.
Yeah, lighter, yeah.
Bro, I got that off me.
So this thing, how long you was carrying it? And
bro, and that's the thing. It was what they call repressed.
Yeah.
Bro, I had to be. I wasn't in Central Middle yet. In Dover, Central Middle is 7th and 8th.
Okay.
So I had to be William Henry, which is 5th and 6th, somewhere in there, between 5th and 6th or 4th.
Somewhere in there, yeah. And then, wow, yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time.
And that's why I said, and that's why I made that comment about there's things that sometimes, like you said, we even forgot about the childhood trauma or something that happened, and then a light bulb will click, or like you said, you walk and you're like, man.
And I thought about the individual, all the people involved, the whole scene. I thought about it since then, but just that morning,
it was just
and I was sick. But that Sunday, like I can't even explain like the peace I felt. And at that like I said, that Sunday, if I could have got my hands on him, he was a walking dead man.
But and that was a good thing.
Like I said, I haven't seen him since I moved from there since like the 80s, so I haven't seen him. I don't even know if he's still alive. But that Sunday, I cried. I got a lot out, and I'm not saying that that's all of it.
Right.
But
that's a part. So let me ask you this. 'cause I know you say you think about your past a lot.
Mhm.
So even in that incident, have you forgave him?
Yeah.
Good. So you good.
Right.
Because that's the thing is that if you didn't forgive him, you know what I mean, you still holding on to it, then you can. But I heard you say that you felt 10 pounds lighter. Only you feel 10 pounds lighter if you forgave him.
And like
you know
I
what I'm
said,
saying?
right
That's
now,
how I know you forgave him. Yeah.
I could look at him. I'll be like, bro, like,
Yeah.
you got an answer for that, like, bro. I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
and I got things I got to answer to too.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I'm a firm believer in karma. I don't even want to touch you, bro. Like, you're not. I don't even want to touch you, bro.
Yeah.
It's something. It's
But,
something.
yeah.
I don't even want that
Yeah.
on me. So
But
yeah, you got that, bro.
forgave
But
you enough, so, yeah.
you gotta pay for that. And
Yeah.
so now with that, like, that was like a real. I felt lighter. I felt
Yeah.
that peace.
Yeah.
And that's not saying I exercise all demons because I still feel them. But it's just the effort every day.
It's the effort. That's all.
Every day, like,
You're right. Yeah.
and I don't get it right all the time.
No,
Bro.
you
Like,
try, yeah.
it's just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I know it's somebody. If I get to that point, it's somebody that I can call.
That's right.
It's somebody I can
That's
talk
right.
to.
That's right.
And you gotta get it out.
Yeah, you got to.
If it's something that just, I see a lot of females going through things in relationships, and to them it's like, not saying all of them, but it's like, if you get with this dude, all of a sudden, all the stuff that you've been through with that dude is all gone. Nah,
Don't work like that.
don't work like that.
Don't work
And
like
now
that.
I'm just like, even with my last relationship, I was single for a while before I got in my last relationship, just because I know
It's good. You was dealing with
you gotta deal with a lot of stuff, and you gotta get that off you. You carry so much,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But
And I appreciate you sharing that and a lot of things
no,
you
I
gonna say.
appreciate the outlet,
No
and
doubt.
like when I walk through or just on social media, I be seeing a lot of little Corey, bro. And like I said, I had a conversation one day, and think of the 3 best fathers you ever met. Just think of them. And how many times have you had or heard them had conversations with their children about how you express how you feel? It's not. I mean, of course, they show you that they love you, but it's something that's, you know what I mean, it's not really taught.
And that might be also why you see, suicide and different things like that, as far as
I mean, like,
because you don't know, kids don't know, and that's why this is important that you have people to talk to. Because every
Me
time
too.
you can't always go to mom and dad.
No.
Sometimes you gotta go to Uncle Joe or Aunt Susie or gotta go to a cousin or a friend or
because my parents didn't have the
stuff
experiences that I did. So
yeah.
with my kids, I mean, even though it's messed up for me to have to go that route, I can give you experience that most can't.
Yeah, because you've been through it. Yeah.
There's a lot of.
And so you would say that because your post about when you was talking about walking and everything was just coming so clear to make it the car and all that about John and everything. Because you even said in that post, I haven't even began my fast yet. This is January 31st.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't even began my fast yet, and my God revealed to me. First of all, I love that you said my God. That's so true. My God revealed to me where my hatred and anger issues came from. He said, lost my mind. Eyes were short clips, and then you went into that what you just shared with us. But like you said, so that anger, that hatred, what I mean. Look, think how long that was. You said you was in a over, right? Yeah. And that's a piece, though. That's a big piece. So like you said, you were talking about the onion. If you keep letting those layers go, cutting into those layers.
I also think about like, look what all I went through with just the almost. Just the almost, bro. Like, I mean, I could subconsciously is like. My soul was screaming out for help. Yeah. But I didn't know how to. Yeah. But just think about the ones that I know for sure that, you know what I mean? And people are quick to label you or say it's you crazy or this, that, and the third. And I've done it myself. But we really don't take the time to think about like what caused that.
It's always
and if you really, really sat down and talked with a person, pick any crazy person.
Yeah.
Anyone.
Anybody, let's go talk.
Sit them down. Yeah. And get the peel and the layers back. You'll understand that it's a reason behind it. Now, once you understand the reason behind it, it's up to you to change it. Like, I don't even feel the same. Like, that's not to say that I'm not gonna mess up or that you can approach me in any kind of way. Because no, that's not gonna happen. But I'm not looking for nothing. I want to be a part of the solution. I don't want to hurt nobody. Like that part of me is so sickening. Like, and now I gotta deal with that. I gotta deal with that. Like, I can't just run from it. You know what I mean? Like I used to. I gotta really look at things that I did and try my best to make amends.
It's I tell you something to make you laugh real quick. It's funny because they say growing up, I remember growing up. I can't remember what parade it was, but I can't remember what parade. But it's when the parade was happening. You know what I'm saying? But I remember growing up, and I remember parade. I remember like it was yesterday because I thank God I got a pretty good memory. But I remember seeing you at parade, and I didn't know you like that then, but I knew but then you was Mills. And I remember, I don't know who it was, but it was like, hey, you don't mess with Mills. Like, nah, Mills. But you just had that. You remember Chris Webber? Chris Webber used to dunk on people, right? And Chris Webber, when he dunked, he gave the mean mug. And like you, when I used to see you on the street, in your younger days, you just was ready. Like but and like you said, that was just your era. So it was just like you don't mess with Mills, and I'm
gonna tell you what it was though. Basically what it was a defense mechanism. But I don't want to do with you, bro. Right. So, and it worked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you were unapproachable. Like, am I right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like some guys you see like, nah, this don't even go.
It got to a point where I had to act like that. Like I said, I'm only a child, so you know what I mean. I couldn't do what a lot of kids did, so that automatically makes you a target in school. So I went through it in school, so it got to a point where I'm not going through it no more.
Right.
It was the defense mechanism.
And then talk a little bit about therapy, because you had another good post January 20th where you had said we seek things in relationships that we should seek in therapy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Talk a little bit just about that. Say, because you already kind of talked a little bit about it, but talk a little bit just about that. Like I said,
just in certain people that I've dealt with, I'm just saying myself. I'm not going to say all. 9 times out of 10, if you end up in a relationship and it don't work out, you automatically seek that healing or closure or whatever it may be.
Right.
You kind of look for that in somebody that may or may not be willing or able to give it to you.
Right.
So my thing is, I used to deal with somebody. I'm not gonna mention names, but I used to deal with somebody, and this individual felt like you could make them happy, like you were in control of happiness, or you know what I'm saying, their insecurities. You were directly in control of that. And I'm like, that's not true. Nah, nobody control your happiness.
That's right.
That's your sole responsibility.
That's right.
Your insecurities, those are things that you work on. Nobody has that power. And it's like they'll look for Band-Aids. I call them Band-Aids. In relationships.
Right.
Band-Aids.
Put it on there. You got a room. Yep.
And it's like everything's okay. I mean, guys do it, but it's like everything's okay.
We all have. That's the point.
Everything's okay. And it's not now. And if you take a look back over your relationships, then that should be a key indicator. That might not be the way. And people they don't want to deal with the heartbreak or deal with disappointment. And you're gonna keep repeating those cycles over and over and over until you be like,
because there's some things that you have to talk to someone about, even if it's not a professional therapist, but just get off your chest.
Got to.
Like just someone you can trust,
right?
Someone you can trust, because
you
there are some things you got. Don't tell the business to anybody. But sometimes you gotta get off your chest. Sometimes we, especially I talk about black men. We tough, we strong. Right. I got it. I got a on my back. But sometimes you gotta, like you say, you gotta get off because it'll weigh you down.
It will.
After a while, So
and that was my main issue.
Yeah.
Like, I'm an only child, so. Wasn't many people around, so I had to.
Yeah, you had this.
You know what I'm saying? I had, my circle, whatever. But for the most part, even to this day, I'm alone most of the time. So when I'm really going through it, you don't really want to bog people down with your problems, and they got their own issues. So I mostly just internalize it. But that didn't work.
And talk about because I heard you mention that you still think a lot about the past. What specifically about the past do you still regret some things? Do you still think about past
I regret a lot.
hurts? Do you still, is there still some things that I know we talk about therapy and you're going somewhere now, is it stuff you need to just get out more to a therapist or
I mean, for the most part, I think with that last that last, I guess you call it revelation.
Yeah.
I guess with that, I think that was like the main thing, because of how I felt after. Like that was a huge, and I'm not saying if it's nothing else, but I mean I'm gonna still go, because like I said,
you've seen how I felt.
It's not like I got a lick. So I still feel it. I gotta check myself.
It's an everyday thing. And I'm glad you said this, because like you said, it's a lot of things we go through, and like you said, it's still there. Like you can draw it and it's still there, and things that happen to where it'll become bigger unless we continue to deal. You know what I'm saying? Deal with the matter. You know what I'm saying? So that's very true statement.
Like, that's how you deal, because like I said, it's always going a situation is going to present itself where it tests you. Like today, I had a situation today. I had a situation a few days ago, and I didn't react the way I normally would.
Pass the test.
And then it hurt. Like I went through something with one of my dudes recently, and like I was really, I was to the point where I cried. Like one of my dudes, like he really stung me. Yeah. And like normally, that would have led to altercation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's growth. Because that's growth, because sometimes, like you said, we take it to, okay, well, we ain't supposed to cry, I'm supposed to go deal with this, but no, you at the point now where you really like, I'm good. I don't need to physically have an altercation.
I'm kind of glad that I didn't. Like, don't get me wrong, it hurt.
Yeah,
my pride was stung. Like I said, it's three of us in the car. We had words or whatever, and I was stung. So normally, like I said, it would lead to something, but this, I just dealt with how I felt. I was stung, so I kept my mouth shut. So it took me a couple of days to get myself together to go talk to him about it. Because I'm like, that's my dudes. We gonna go talk about it. So in them couple of days I was cooling off. He had a medical issue. I almost lost him. Wow. Yeah. So I just happened to hear it through somebody else. So I get the call like, you went to the hospital. I'm like, what? So that's what made me come holler. And that's when he gave me the rundown. I was like, that could have been the same if I reacted differently. And then 2 days later, and I was like, and that made my love for him is why I checked myself. Right. And he had things going on with him that was affecting how he was. So that wouldn't, a few years ago, that wouldn't happen.
Growth, so, man. That's what you said. When you can look back and like, man, I would have reacted totally different. Even
I had to come in.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I was so mad. Like, we riding on the highway. Now we're in a car. The car is heavy. Riding on the highway, coming on like I think it was like 295 or something. So in order, I'm rocking so hard, I got the car shaking. We're going 70, 80 miles down the highway. I'm rocking so hard, the car shaking. That's how mad I was. But how we came together at the end, it strengthened that relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to just. That's not my go-to response now. You know what I mean? Normally that was just my only way of scoring. Right. Just to go aggressive. Now I got shooters now. I can come
different way. Yeah, especially when it's your real friend. Exactly. It's different. It's different. And sometimes it's good, like you said. Let me take a couple of days. Let me calm down. Let me not react as soon as something happens. Then I come back. So like you said, all that's growth.
I cried in front of two dudes. I was stinging. But like I said, it was a test. That's the thing. You will be tested, especially when you start.
Sure. When you start changing.
When you start, come on,
bro. Man, come on. You gonna get tested left and right,
bro. Man,
left and right, bro.
I started going to church.
Oh man.
My whole
come everywhere.
World turned upside down, like you know what I mean. And I think that's the main thing that really keeps us from moving forward because. When you start making life changes, somebody's not happy about that.
That's right.
And if somebody assigned to you, that's you know what I mean?
That's right.
And they don't want you to reach that point.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And we got to face these obstacles.
That's right.
How hard this with your eyes on that project.
You can't do it by yourself.
Nah. And this is why, I mean, somebody has to say, like, it's okay for you to cry. We're like, I cry all the time.
Me too.
I don't
because that's how we grew up, though. We grew up as black men with two things. One, like you said, we better not cry. And then two, and this is black people in general, men and women. Therapy? You wouldn't think about therapy. Like even, and I'm talking about even just still a couple of years ago. Yeah. Like now I see more people, and I love it. Talking about mental health and things. And this is why it's big, because a lot of people they keep it balled in, and now they realize like, let me go talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what's going on. Because it's not the same as maybe talking to a friend or talking to somebody. Nah, you might need to go talk to somebody that
has the education.
To
along this
help.
field to really dig and pick and get to the bottom of your problems or whatever. I recommend it to anybody. Like I said, when they first told me that I had to go, I laughed it off, and I had no idea that it was going to be influential in a turnaround. Like, and I go for that. Drug and alcohol, I go for all that. Like, I had no problem saying that I need help, but I just didn't know how to say I need help.
And I appreciate you even saying that, because I was researching, they were saying that there's 5 warning signs when it comes to mental health, and I'm gonna say these 5 things and let me know if it was something you dealt with then or even something you might still be doing with that. Because and then and we got a lot of good comments. Thank you for everyone that's listening.
Definitely appreciate
positive comments. Everyone is
okay. I definitely
sure, yeah. Number one was long lasting sadness or irritability. So
irritability.
Y'all said that was one. Yeah. 2, extremely high and low moods. Either real high, in between real high, real low. 3, excessive fear, worry, or anxiety. 4, social withdrawal. I know that was something you said about the defense mechanism and this. Social withdrawal. And then 5 was dramatic changes in eating or sleeping habits. And then I know you talked about the sleeping. So
to this day, I don't sleep all night.
And we gotta change that because man, a good night's sleep it's needed, and especially I know how you work, so especially you work and stuff like that. So what's an average night for you? Go to bed, as far as go to bed, getting up and then trying to go back to bed. Like
I gotta go to bed late. Like 9, 10 o'clock.
Oh no, I'm saying I can't do that.
For real. Like, and that's why I run and work as much as I do. I tire myself up.
Yeah, I feel you.
I can go home and relax, take my bath or whatever, and I can be relaxing. And it's like certain times of night. Hey.
I got you.
I can be dead tired. There was a time where I was working like 12-hour shifts on my job, going at 3 p.m. get off 3 a.m. And I would do moving company work before I would go in. And I can still go home and not sleep on it. And man, nobody really wants to believe that as a child that I heard stuff. And when I'm all the times in the jail and in the courts, and how can I tell a judge, make a judge believe that as a kid, and I had to grow up with this stuff in my head, and I don't.
That's the first thing people want to say, man, you crazy, man.
I had in middle school, I was going to see a psychiatrist in like 7th, 8th grade. Yeah, I had a psychiatrist in the 7th, 8th grade, and they couldn't find out.
They couldn't find out what it was.
Well, they were sending for CAT scans.
And you made a good something you said earlier rung out to me too, because you were saying we're always trying to put a name on something. It's just like kids. First thing we want to do is put kids on Ritalin. Put kids, you know what I'm saying? So they got a problem. I couldn't drink certain sodas. You know what I'm saying? And then even things that's happening to people, when you talk about hearing voices and different things like that, well, man, why did that happen? My grandfather would say, because the enemy said one thing and then it escalated. You just never know. It's always a base. You know what I'm saying?
I knew that a guy and a woman was supposed to. I was younger than my 8-year-old son.
And you ain't fussing
who's telling you this? Right. Like it's stuff that I heard that I would never let leave my because somebody would walk in here and put me in a straight jacket and walk me out of there. Like, as growing up when you dealing with females and you know what I'm saying. Like I had a talk with an ex recently. Just brought me a tour and she brought up. You know what I mean? Like, man, I was like, I didn't know. And she was like, all this time we didn't know. Now me and her have understanding because she was with me when I was young. She didn't know what the hell I didn't know. You know what I mean? Like that was a healing moment.
That's a healing moment. I was just gonna say that's a healing moment, man. Like for both of you. Because both of y'all probably going through like, man.
She had her own thing. She had her own battles, and I had mine. And even though we cared, we fighting battle, fighting all bars. Can you imagine how? And then I'm only child, so I don't got no. I have brothers and sisters, but they do my father. I'm in the house by myself for the most part, and I don't know how to tell you what's going on. Just now, and I gotta go back and repair all this stuff that I've done. But that's exactly what's gonna happen. I don't know how much time I got left, but I realize that
Well, I see the positive things you've done and said recently, bro. You know what I mean? I can mean, trust me.
You have no idea.
A lot of people are saying a lot of good stuff, man. Listen,
I
a lot of y'all sharing good stuff. I'm gonna let Corey look at a lot, but just some of the things that people have been saying. Kenny was saying.
Ain't nobody got no jokes.
I'm sorry, dude.
I got some fish grease too, just in case you can go get sentimental. I can fry you up. However you want to do it, I'm here for you.
Kenny was saying it takes a real man to come on and speak his truth.
I mean, I have to.
Real, because everyone not going to do that.
That's the thing. It's not. It's like it's somebody else's truth, and I can't let that happen to somebody else, bro. Like it's another pervert running around here, and it's
now
enough.
Having a son, I'm sure
it's enough, bro. Like you know what I mean, and it's not, bro. Like that wasn't easy for me to go to work with that on my phone.
Nah, not at all,
you know what I
man.
mean? But
And then deal with it for so long, like, you know what I'm saying?
somebody gotta be like, come on, man. Like, even if you want to talk about something, you don't want to
Right.
do it socially. Like, bro, I'm here. Like, you know what I mean? I know I be with my nonsense, and you know I'm known for getting at people on social media. But for the most part, my friends will tell you, you can't ask for a better friend. Like, you can't ask for a better friend. And if there's somebody out there that you need to talk, and you know what I mean, you ain't got to talk if you just want to cry or you want to punch something or make fun of me or something. I got big ears and all that. If you just want to get that off, like, you know what I'm saying? We have to take a step and start somewhere. There's a whole bunch of little hurdle men out here, and if you don't start this healing process, you know, your daughters is going to be the recipient of my mentality or my actions, and to me, that's sickening. Looking back at what I did, bro, it's sickening, and we got to stop it, bro.
Man, you said right.
Yeah, we got to stop it, bro.
I got Boo was talking about thanks for the transparency. It's needed. Chris White, you know, talked about a lot of black men don't, like you said, deal with their issues and don't talk. How people, Elizabeth Slaughter. So what's up, cuz? Talked about how we suffer in silence.
Silence,
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So you know, it's a lot. It's a lot to unpack, and that's why, like you said, even these segments, this ain't gonna be the last time we're gonna do this because it's not enough time. You know what I'm saying? You know, we got a lot.
We really starting the attack.
We starting the attack.
We just starting. We just letting you know that we coming at y'all like this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we're gonna be doing some more. Not just with your story, but even like I said, some of the brothers and
everybody
guys I want to get
need
together.
To hear everybody's story.
Different ones
but
like that.
Everybody needs to speak up. Like, if you got something on your heart, come on, man. Like, it's time. You gotta let it go. Like, I'm tired of seeing people hurt. I'm tired of hurting myself. Like, I'm really, really tired of feeling the way I was feeling. You know what I mean? Like, the only way we're gonna do that is if we, you know what I'm saying? So,
and closing out with hurt, and another post you had. Like I said, you the best follower. I love following because, like you said, the stuff you be saying is so positive and it's real. Like, I like real dudes. Even when I'm in church or hearing preach, I need real preachers. I need you to tell me what you've been through and what you know overcome. You know what I'm saying? So you even said that. I find it sad when people can only respond to life from a place of hurt. I find it cowardly to have no desire to leave that place. Falling down is a matter of gravity, which means it's beyond your control. That's good stuff. I'm gonna read that again. Falling down is a matter of gravity, which means it's beyond your control. Getting back up is a matter of will. Man, you talk good on here. A real fighter. No, I'm serious. You got something in you, man. It's real talk. A real fighter knows you only lose when you stay down. So why is it? Do you think that sometimes we only come from a place of hurt? Is it because we don't know how to
speak from anywhere else?
Yeah.
And like I said, most of my if I'm speaking on something, it's an issue that's related. Like it's touched me. If it's not me, specifically, you know what I'm saying. But you know, I mean, a lot of times I'll be sending it to people. Yeah, I'm sending shots at you.
The positive impact you have, trust me, and you might think it's a small impact, but even if you just help one person, you're already done. I mean, trust me, it's a lot. It's a lot more than that. Yeah, I mean, from this video,
that's my goal, bro.
On here, I see.
I joke a lot. I talk a lot of crazy stuff.
What you do? We need to laugh.
That's
you know what I'm saying? People don't laugh enough.
That's just me dealing with
what you going through too at the same time.
A lot of times I get on there and I talk crazy. And people are like, what is this stuff? Where do you come up with this stuff? And you don't understand. Like, when I go in the comments and I see y'all laughing. That's
what's up.
That's my therapy. Like, it ain't just I'm just talking crazy. It's for a reason. Like, that's me having them moments where I'm looking back like, damn, well, like, you really did that, and I gotta snap myself out of it. It's good that I think about it.
Right.
But when you drown too much, I gotta pull myself out of it. Like, okay, I know what I did, but now I gotta focus time on. You know what I'm saying? Making sure nobody else do that. I don't do that again.
Yeah, that's real.
Y'all help me just as much as I help y'all. Like, I really thank you. For welcoming me here, because
no doubt, man, no doubt. Like you said, we basically family, man.
Across the street, I'm like, whatever.
Like you said, man, I knew you was always a real one, always cool. And like you said, man, the way you was there for Talia, how many years back, and even she, like, she came tall at a point where you know I had lost a little baby girl a few years ago at that time, man.
And like that was one of my darkest moments. And to this day, like, I still haven't really healed from that. And you know, Talia popped up, and you know, I'm about kids.
Yeah.
So you know, when she was like 6
Yeah,
months.
she was.
6 months when she came. So by the time she starts talking, she was still there.
Yeah,
Her first words was "Dad."
Yeah. Still there.
Yeah.
Still
All
there.
right.
Yeah.
Rap ever since then. So she definitely came at one of my dark points.
And it's something how God knows
Take-
what you need
yeah,
and what time to take. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. 'Cause I'm sure that was a dark time, a hard time,
Bro,
for you at that point.
it's some people that I've done some things too, and I'm ashamed to say that I was capable of doing that. But even still, bro, I wouldn't wish that on nobody, bro. Like to this day, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Yeah, it was a lot.
And you know, that's not. She helped me get past that.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Helped me get past that.
That's good. And one thing I'll say before we close, and it's a lot more I want to get into.
Oh,
we're gonna get out.
we-
It's a lot more,
we
but I
on
know
the road
it's a,
now.
but
We
we
on the
got
road
because it's a lot. I tell you, I got so much I want to pick his brain about. But
Come on.
this one thing I want to say to you before we get out of here to close this episode is, don't worry about the past. Let the past be the past.
Right.
Learn from the past. Heal from the past. But don't think, and what I mean by that is, don't look at the past like, man, I shouldn't have done that. It's a lot that we all done that if Jesus Christ himself didn't know we did, we wouldn't want him to know. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a lot of people. I didn't know you went through that. Didn't know you did it, and you weren't supposed to know at that time. You just but what I'm saying, don't beat yourself up.
Gotcha.
But you keep on doing what you're doing right now. Just keep on every day getting better, healing. You know what I'm saying? And then just like you tell people that if they need somebody to talk to, same with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's something I gotta start doing.
You know what I'm
too.
saying? Yeah, because sometimes you need that outlet. It's easy
Right.
to keep it, or even the people, but hey.
I always had
you know what I'm
the
saying?
responsibility of being the go-to guy. Like everything,
Yeah, I know
I'm
what
the
you
go-to
mean.
guy. So
Yeah, I know what
that's
you
a
mean.
stance that I took, and I took pride in that.
Yeah. Like I'm strong, I got it, but
Sometimes
all strong people need another strong person.
I'm at the point now where I realize,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, I don't mind. Like that's what I'm built for.
Yeah.
But sometimes I need to take a break.
That's right. You gotta take a break, and you gotta
something like this, like
yeah.
This is it. Like,
That's what's up.
Like I said, anytime you need me,
That's what's up.
or anything that's along these lines,
That's what's up. We're gonna
I'm
do
here,
it,
bro. Like
we're gonna do it. We're gonna
somebody
get something.
got
We're gonna get something on the books real soon. Then real soon.
Definitely
Appreciate you,
man. I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate everybody. Corey Mills. We in here live at BAAM. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. Like you said, definitely a great episode, and I hope it helps somebody.
We got some more coming too.
Y'all more coming. Share the video. Tell people about it. Appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all next time.
That was live too. Will I be able to see the whole thing?